Hello, everyone. Today we're talking about one of the most common, curious, and downright entertaining mammals you'll see outside the squirrel. You've probably seen them running up trees or chasing each other around the park. They're super interesting and can teach us a great biblical lesson, so be sure and stay to the end. Let's start with the basics. Squirrels belong to the family Sciuridae, which includes tree squirrels, ground squirrels, flying squirrels, chipmunks, and even marmots. In fact, there are over 200 species of squirrels spread all over the world. The only place you can't find them is Australia and Antarctica. Sorry to all my Aussie friends. Tree squirrels, like the gray squirrel and the red squirrel, are excellent climbers. Their sharp claws and strong hind legs means they can balance almost anywhere. In fact, a squirrel can leap up to 10 times its body length in one jump. That's like a human jumping across a pool. Check out the tail. It's not just for looks. A squirrel's tail helps with balance, communication, and even temperature control. On a hot day, it acts like an umbrella. On a cold day, it's like a blanket. Now here's something funny. Squirrels are a little bit forgetful. They hide nuts and seeds for later, but they don't always remember where they buried them. When the spring comes, some of those forgotten seeds grow into new trees. So squirrels actually help forest regenerate. That's a great example of mutualism. Both squirrel and the forest get a benefit. Squirrels are rodents, which means their teeth never stop growing. That's why they have to constantly gnaw on things like nuts, bark, and even wires. It's to keep their teeth from getting too long. And yes, some squirrels can kind of fly. It's more like gliding. Flying squirrels have a flap of skin called a patagium between their front and back legs. It works like a parachute, letting them glide as far as 45 meters from tree to tree. That's almost half a football field. Squirrels are also surprisingly smart. They can mostly remember where they buried all their food, and as any backyard birder knows, they can get into anything that has a nut. You know, watching squirrels store their food reminds me of a verse in Psalms. In Psalms 119:11 it says, "Thy word I have hid in my heart, that I might not sin against thee." Just like squirrels hide nuts to feed on later, we can hide God's word in our hearts to be used later. When hard times come, like a squirrel's winter, those hidden verses can feed our faith and give us strength. So, the squirrel reminds us to be prepared not just physically, but spiritually, by filling our minds with God's truth before life's challenges arrive. Quiz time! Which part of their bodies do squirrels use to communicate with each other? Their mouths and their tails is correct. They use both. From their acrobatic leaps to their clever food storage, squirrels are incredible examples of God's design in nature. They show us the beauty of preparation. So, next time you see a squirrel running around with a nut, remember to hide God's word in your heart so you'll be ready for whatever comes next. Stay curious and keep putting God's word in your heart. Special thanks to the Shark Lab Animals Kids Club members. Be sure to check out our other videos to learn more great lessons from God's amazing creatures.